Travelers on the Omnibus occasionally touches on mature subject matter with mature language. As such, audience discretion is advised. Welcome to Travelers on the Omnibus, a field trip through nerd and pop culture. My name is James McCarthy, and welcome to another one of our Rest Stop episodes where we take stories from other episodes that were cut for time, but we loved them so much we wanted to throw in to see what y'all thought about it. Up first is a story from me that I had forgotten about until I was reminded very gingerly, thanks to another story told by Brady. And we cut this story from there because we wanted to make sure both stories of our movie theater horrors were perfectly timed and had their chance to breathe and be listened to. So this is my review, quote unquote, of Borderlands. And if you're used to our disclaimers at the top about mature language and mature subject matter, let me double up for this one. Past Jay, take it away. Okay, so
oh God,
Jesus,
he is standing up.
Okay.
He's standing up.
Okay. So, oh my God, this has been like 3 fucking weeks.
How have you not told this to anybody?
Oh my God,
To tell
I
us
don't know,
last
because
show.
I was going to wait for the show. And then I was gonna do it all at the show, and so y'all would have been the very first to hear it. Oh my fucking
do you
God!
know what this is, Brady?
My senile fucking brain. Okay, so
Okay.
all right, so
Okay.
so we everybody had been dissing on Borderlands. I'm like,
Yes.
you know what? I'll bite the bullet. I'm gonna go to a matinee, so it's cheaper, and we're gonna have fun. So I go to an undisclosed theater, because I don't want to be sued. Anyway, and I'm like, wait a minute. Instead, I'm going to sneak in. There's side doors to this. I'm not paying money. Who's going to check? Who's going to be in Borderlands watching it? Foreshadowing is a literary device. Anyway, so I go over to the side door, and they've got like 7 cameras pointed at that door. And I'm like, well, fuck. So I go over to the fucking guy register, like no one's there. Like I'm there at like 10:30. So like I want to see the earliest matinee for the most discount I can get.
Yes.
But then I'm embarrassed that I'm going to see Borderlands.
Yeah.
So I asked for a ticket for Deadpool and the Wolverine.
Okay.
And so I bought the ticket for Deadpool and the Wolverine. And I go in and say, "Here you go, sir." Oh, theater to your left. The theater to the left was also where Borderlands was. So it's gonna be great. I'm like, I don't want any popcorn. I don't want any sodas.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go in and like, no one's looking. Dart, and I'm in. I'm in Borderlands.
Okay.
And I'm like, someone might come, so I'm gonna just go up to the top. They're not gonna go up to the top. It's dark up there.
Right.
There's nothing. So I'm seated in my wonderful cushioned seat, and I'm just sitting down, and the movie starts. And shit's going on. Oh, there's Kevin Hart. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's go to.
Yeah.
A dude goes and he makes the turn. He makes the turn coming into it. He jumps and he just flops right down in the chair that is right there.
In front of you?
No, not in front of me. All the way down at the bottom. The light of the screen illuminates him, but I am in the deep dark so that no one will know that I'm there. Sure. All right. Then he starts taking his pants off.
No.
What? What is happening? He takes his underwear off.
No.
He starts jacking off.
No.
He starts jacking off in the Borderlands viewing.
Oh my God.
And so me having flashbacks to Vietnam, a war I was never in, but I've seen Platoon 5 times. I jump down and I'm like hiding, and the chairs don't go up as far as these.
Nope.
So I'm like half hidden, half not. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? What the fuck do I do here? I'm literally on my stomach, like looking like, oh God, what the? And so I'm like, I gotta stop this.
Yeah.
I gotta stop this. So I yell out to him. Only it comes out like this. Hey man, he's jacking off down there! He jumps up and runs straight forward, dick first into the metal fucking divider for the seats. And he is howling in pain. And then I just looked at oh God, so I'm ducked further down. Don't ask how. I I don't know how. Then I look up again and he's gone. I'm like, oh God, I don't know where he is in this theater. Where the fuck is this man? Ah! And I'm just like, I'm in the dark, quivering in fear. He could be right behind me. He could. I'm in total pitch darkness. I can't see 5 feet in front of my face, just the screen. I'm like, I need to get out of here. So I literally start belly crawling down the first 2 stairs. And then I realize this is the dumbest thing I could be doing. So I stand up and I just scoot the way out. And then I walk out and I'm like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Oh, wait, I have a ticket for Deadpool versus Wolverine. So I went and I watched Deadpool versus Wolverine. So my review of Borderlands, the first 5 minutes is kind of boring, but then somebody comes in and starts jacking off. And the rest of the movie is Deadpool and Wolverine. So 4 stars. Check it out.
Oh, my God.
Well, let that be a lesson to you for going to watch Borderlands.
Yeah.
I will be honest. You kind of got what you deserved.
I bought a ticket for a better movie to see Borderlands. That's what
I'll be honest. If I wanted to go to a theater and jack off, I would also choose Borderlands at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, no, I've learned so many. I have learned so many new things.
This man was like, surely, I bet you he bought that online so he could see that the theater was empty.
Why would he sit at the bottom? Like
that is.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a Kate Blanchett fetish.
I mean,
and wants to be as close to her as possible. Maybe he's really into Jamie Lee Curtis.
Dude, there are places to jerk off. Like, there are places in fairly private to jerk off.
Yeah, they're called bathrooms.
Yeah. You could have gone to the bathroom.
Yeah.
There are several bathrms at that theater.
Yeah. Most theaters have those.
Jay, this is what you get for trying to sneak into a movie theater.
No. It's what I get for trying to sneak into a movie theater to watch Borderlands.
Yeah,
I
this is
blame
true.
Borderlands. That is going to be my movie of the year. It is the best horror movie I've ever been in. I have never jumped behind a chair before during a horror movie, and Borderlands made that possible.
Yeah.
So there you go. So there's my review of Borderlands.
You should tweet your story to Eli Roth.
I think I have to think. Yeah, because you have to understand. I came out of Deadpool and Wolverine. I'm like, I know what I'm talking about tonight.
Right.
And then I don't know if it would, because I'm normally also, because I work nights, I'm not up at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So I think what happened was I went home, I went to bed, and I processed that as a dream.
Yeah.
And it was a bad dream.
Yeah.
And I want my money back, God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So that concludes this rest stop from a buried memory from 3 weeks ago. Thank you, gentlemen. I
Jesus
appreciate
Christ.
Oh God.
So yes, Borderlands viewing's highly dangerous. Anyway, moving on to something a little bit more mellow. We're going to be talking about, specifically Brady's going to be talking about Mythworks is, I guess, RPG of the moment, though it is certainly more than just a moment. We think it's a really good and kind of cool setting and world, and we're going to be talking about more. This is the Wildsea. Brady, take it away.
So I've been kind of reading through that book. Jody, we spent most of the time today actually looking through the book and reading some things about it. It's a very, very interesting, weird world. Basically, like, the world was suddenly and very rapidly covered in trees. Like, trees sprouted up so quickly that it basically covered the entire world, except for like mountaintops and stuff like that. And people then had to figure out how the fuck they were going to live.
Because below the canopy line, everything is dangerous.
Yeah. Above the canopy line, everything
also,
everything is slightly less dangerous, but still really dangerous.
Right.
And also, like, all the trees are covered in this substance that is that it's like they call it an eldritch substance, where I guess because you just don't know where the fuck it came from, where it makes the trees all grow rapidly, and that's why they actually become like waves. Like but they also are like searing to the skin, and they're poisonous. So the best way to think of it, like, the world is like water world, except that it's trees is the ocean, and the ocean is also will burn you if you touch it. And there are also like tons and tons and tons of flora and fauna that want to kill you
right
the entire time that you're out there.
Yeah.
the way the RPG works is you're a crew of a ship, which the way ships work in this is they strap a gigantic chainsaw to the front of it and it like rips through the trees, and you're just kind of like explorers. There's different reasons that you could be doing things. It's a very, very interesting world because it's like so different from other worlds that you've seen. Like it's so different from our world because they even talk about like, okay, how does religion work? How does civilization, how does that work? Where some things.
Language is a skill set that matters.
Yeah, language is a big skill set. It's very, very interesting that like the races are like you could be a regular human, or you could be a cactus person, or you could be a fungus person, or you could be a collection of a colony of spiders that found themselves some skin and decided they were going to be a person, or you can be the wreck of a ship that somehow found sentience and a soul and came to life in a humanoid shape. Like, it's really over the top and out there.
I want to be a Muppet.
I mean,
Give me a sock. That's me.
the spider people are basically socks,
Right.
but they're filled with spiders.
Right.
Just a sock.
And then you have like bloodlines and origins.
Yeah, you got the bloodline. Those are like the bloodlines, and then you have origins. Like you could have been trapped in amber for like hundreds of years and been released. And you could have been the one that we found that was really cool is you could have died, and then because you had something anchoring you back to this world, some heirloom or treasure or something, you became a corporeal ghost. And came not back to life, but kind of back to life.
And that's what I'm playing whenever we do that. Whenever we do this game.
Yeah, you pick a bloodline, you pick an origin, and then you pick a post, which is basically like your job.
Your job, yeah.
And you could be anything from you're a corsair, so you're really good at nimbly fighting with a sword and shit like that. Or you could be basically a postman whose oath to deliver their packages is so strong that it empowers them. It gives them powers.
I dig it.
Yeah, there's like
I want it now.
It's really out there. The things that they have come up with, like the creatures are all weird and crazy.
One of the other jobs was like not a bartender, but someone who concocts drinks that are so soothing that people need them.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also be a chef.
A
You
chef,
could
yeah.
be the chef.
Because food and drink in this world are...
Yeah. It's a world like like an interesting thing about the world is that like the only thing that like pretty much every civilization believes now is that the worst thing that you can do is have an open flame, because fire on the sea gets absolutely out of control. So like that is the one thing that is like super verboten. Like most of them, murder is bad, but that's even like there's some places where that's probably not even the worst thing. But like, having an open flame, that's really bad.
Because in the north, there's a fire that's never out.
Yeah. It's called the conflagration. And literally like civilizations that used to hate each other like teamed up to say, hey, we got to kind of stop this thing from spreading. And that's what they do all the time.
And looking north is considered bad juju.
Yeah, if you're sailing, you don't look north because that's bringing about bad luck.
Do you just look south and then hope the best as you're like driving with no knowledge? Or
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Gotcha. I want to play it.
Like tobacco is a vice, but you can't. Like the only way that you can smoke tobacco is in certain places where it's basically a stone hut. Because that's the only place that they can make sure that like flames will not get out of there.
You can't smoke it on the ship.
Yeah. Yeah, like cooking, you have to there's like different ways of cooking, like there's chemicals, like the batteries that run your like cooking for using the like energy from the batteries that power your ship. Everything's like barter. Like there's no
money.
There's no actual money. But like there's a thing called scratch, which is just all the bullshit that gets into your pockets while you're sailing. Like it could be branches and twigs and pieces of amber and nuts and bolts and shit like that. You can just like go up to somebody and be like, hey, can I get a meal for this? And that's fine, or a drink or something like that. But like more than that, and you have to actually like trade something. It's a very, very interesting world. The system is kind of interesting. I haven't really gotten into that part super hard. But the way things are like divided with there's montages, and then there's scenes, which is like actual role playing,
And arcs.
and there's arcs and things like that, and hooks, and they'll even have like in some of the parts there's like, okay, here's a beast that you might encounter. Here's some hooks for that. Here's some things that you could make an encounter out of that, basically.
And then they give you like different examples of like how certain skills would come into play by actually giving you like a little like clip at the side of the page on an example of a session run by the games master.
Yeah,
which is known as a Firefly.
Yeah, a Firefly. Because in this world, Fireflies actually like lead the ships to like good places. There's even like rules for if you don't want to have one person to be the DM, you can do what's called the Dragonfly mode, where different people, like the GM will change. So it as the game goes, as the session goes on, there's rules for like changing up the GM.
Also, another thing I liked about the game is that seasons matter. So the 4 seasons in the game, you have like, for example, not that bugs won't show up anytime, but in autumn they show up more. So you're going to probably come across giant mosquito death wings more often in the autumn than you will in the summer.
Yeah. And the winter is like, you don't go out in the winter. Like it's everything like gets super brittle, and it's like
there's no canopy, it's only branches, and you can't fucking steer your ship on top of that, because you'll just fall into the death.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a very interesting world. The system, from what I've read so far, is pretty interesting.
It seems lived in.
Yeah, it seems lived in. Like there's a lot of bones there for you to build up on something. It's interesting. They don't ever, like in this book, they don't ever give you like, here's an adventure. They just give you like, here's some hooks. Like here's some things that you can do.
And it's really meant to be like a short term kind of thing.
Yeah,
because there's no level progression. I don't think I saw.
I haven't come across it. I think you might. I don't think there's like level progression like we think in like most RPGs, but there is like getting better at skills.
There's
and things like that.
There probably is that I might have missed, because we just glanced through a lot of it. So
yeah, it's a big book and there's a lot in there, and I've been reading through it slowly. I've only got it for a few days now. But yeah, Wildsea, I'm really looking forward to that. It looks very interesting. So yeah.
Brady, thank you very much for presenting Wildsea to us. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that takes this rest stop to a close. Thank you very much for stopping by and enjoying the ride. If you'd like to leave a comment on this or any of our previous episodes, travelersontheomnibus@gmail.com. Again, that is travelers, 1L, on the omnibus @gmail.com. If you're on Spotify, you can leave comments directly on our episodes, any one of them, whether it is this short little rest stop or any of our regular sized episodes from the past. Also, if you enjoyed this and you'd like to share that with friends, but they don't listen to podcasts on the things you like to listen to podcasts on, we're available on Apple, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube Music through our YouTube channel, Travelers on the Omnibus, and iHeartRadio. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you for your time. With that, we're out.